morning, everyone. Thank you for attending my webinar today around the recruitment consultant. So this is a level 3 qualification. Again, very similar to the resourcer if you were on earlier today. It's an 18-month program, 12 months worth of learning, 6 assignments plus an endpoint assessment, which consists of a professional discussion and an assignment brief, which you're given, and that is all gets taken place with the endpoint assessment organisation, or the EPAO, externally from the business. So throughout the time, you will be supported with the delivery of the programme. Obviously, through GBS, the chances are it will be myself, Nicola Mouton-Gawa, and I am the recruitment specialist for the business. Just a bit of background on myself as well. I have worked in recruitment for over 15 years, starting off working, learning everything I needed to know with one company, and then actually taking the plunge and starting my own business, which was in operation for 12 years in the end. So this morning, I'm going to talk to you, as I say, around the recruitment consultant level 3 qualification. I'm just going to take a snapshot out of the qualification as the types of things that you may learn and be looking at throughout the 18-month programme that you are taking part in. So a recruitment consultant, what is a recruitment consultant? Predominantly employed within the recruitment sector, and it's to identify and secure job opportunities with client organisations. You will be required to attract candidates and successfully place them in return for a fee. A recruitment consultant may focus on the supply of flexible workers. They could be permanent or temporary, a combination of both. And there's various different models as well throughout the recruitment industry, to include contract, contingency, and other aspects as well within the industry, which you'll learn, or even maybe working within at the moment. You may be working within an in-house type environment, or you may be agency, or you could be what they call a rec to rec. So you're actually recruiting for recruitment consultants for the industry. A career in recruitment as a recruitment consultant, can appeal to individuals as well who may have maybe an entrepreneurial outlook. It does provide opportunity for reward and high earning potential, and many opportunities arise within the recruitment sector just through being personal and in the professional development aspects, and you can develop up through the ranks into managerial, so that you're more hands-on operationally, or you could specialist in your own sector and become a high performer in your chosen sector as well. So there's lots of different avenues that you can move towards with a career within recruitment consultancy. I will say it's not a career that maybe you come out of school or college and think that's what you want to be. But ever increasingly, I think the opportunities and the skill set and the actual behaviours that you will encounter and the people that you will come across as a recruitment consultant are second to none. You do use a mixture of all of those skills on a daily basis in a fast-paced environment where you are having to actually think on your feet quickly and make key decisions. Okay, so how can we work more smartly to get the best outcome? That's what I'm concentrating on today. So looking at different tools that we can use to be smarter, work more effectively, and more accurately as well. So time management and being effective throughout the day is also critical to the success of a high-performing consultant. Think about the tools that you have available to utilise. For example, it could be your digital platforms, so social media, CRM, so your client relationship management systems, where you store all your data and information and can track and monitor that journey. Websites, job boards, all of these help us to be more efficient in what we do. And using these tools in the best possible way help us to be more robust. Maybe the most important tool we have is yourself, you as a person and your brand. People, as you know, buy into people, and even if the product sells itself, and building relationships and developing a robust pipeline over a period of time is absolutely crucial to your business. and the success of your business. How many times have you called that one client who takes your call but never has a role for you to recruit for? And then maybe 6 months later, you get the golden call from them and they ask you, out of all the consultancies that they deal with, to recruit on behalf of them. So perseverance certainly pays off. And even though if you feel that you're just plugging away and clocking up time on calls where you're not making any headway with a client, you keep that perseverance and that relationship and keep those channels open, it will come through in the end. So how do you use social media to build your brand? Is it the most effective way? Does it portray a positive image to the audience? And how can you make your profile reach a wider audience? Do you feel at the moment that you're actually reaching your maximum target audience? A survey recently revealed that 77% of recruiters or recruitment agencies use social media primarily to build their own brand, but only 14% of them said it's primarily to source candidates, and 9% said they use it primarily to source employers. So the percentages, as you can see, compared to how you build your brand is not that high. So it's implying that there's a bit of off balance with that at the moment. Also, interestingly, 0% of respondents said they use social media primarily to screen applicants, but the focus is, to say, very much on building brands. Gone are the days where you maybe need to make a phone call to the main switchboard to get past the gatekeeper in order to reach the stakeholder that you're targeting. In a few clicks now, you can have that piece of information that you need in order to build a relationship, and start sending an email if it's on LinkedIn, to get those channels opened. No one seems to screen applicants over social media, although I'm sure we have all researched on Facebook, maybe potential candidates and their personal adventures at some point. This may form a judgment which could be positive or negative. Certainly employers do look on people's social media to see what they're up to in their personal life as well, and that could have an unconscious bias towards whether or not they get the position or not. So what can you do to be consistent in your approach to candidates and clients? Keeping that consistency also means organisation, planning, and overall control of your desk is in order. Be really enthusiastic about the company that you work for, as well as the clients you're recruiting for, and have an understanding of that culture. Also, if you look in the mirror, what do you see? Are you being an advocate for your business and representing the companies that you're recruiting for as well? Make sure that you're targeting your messages to the correct people, and that it's clear. Keep energetic with the way that you're talking to people, and connect and follow with other companies as well to make sure that you are getting inspiration. Be bold. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Look in the mirror, as I say again, and make sure that you are providing the best service that you can, and how you are being treated is the way that you want to be treated yourself. Think about some of the tips that you can gain to gain maximum traction, to maintain consistency with your clients without spending needless wasted hours. So time it right to send your email between the hours of 9 and 10. So this has come up in a survey actually. This is the best time to send an email to a potential client to show the highest response rates. That's when the highest response rates will come through. So think about that in the morning when you're sending your emails. Also stick to weekdays. Do not send emails at the weekend. They're likely to be 16% responsive as well, according to data, even though people have more time at the weekend. And we all look at our emails at the weekend, don't we, without subconsciously responding to it. Those emails can get lost, and that could be crucial to your introduction to a client. Make sure that you're crafting subject lines as well. Make sure that you've got a good email subject line that improves your chances that a message will be open. Try not to talk about commonalities where appropriate or inappropriate words, such as I'm reaching out to you, or hello, a fellow colleague of mine, or a boring subject line that might mean you're probably happy at your current company, but we have a career opportunity for you. So it needs to be things that are going to stand out, that really attracts that candidate or the client into using you over everybody else. Make the role feel aspirational. The top reason why employees leave their current positions at the moment is for career advancement, with well-being a close second. Your email should not only describe the open position, it should also be aware and share where the position could lead. So looking at the future development as well. The first thing an interesting candidate will do as well is look at your LinkedIn page. They will look at you, look at your background, your history as well, who you recruit for, people that you link with as well. That all helps to build and make part of your brand as well, and who you are, to gain that credibility within the industry. So just a few different aspects there around how you can make sure that you're working smarter, making sure that you're presenting yourself in the best way possible and getting that traction back in to the business in order to be more effective generally with your roles and the candidates and clients in turn. So how do behaviours at work improve productivity and working smarter? We'll just take a look now at unconscious bias and how unconscious bias can affect you and your colleagues in the workplace. Unconscious bias can influence decisions in recruitment, promotion, and performance management. It can be very discriminatory when the unconscious bias relates to a protected characteristic. So unconscious bias is really when people favour others who they like the look of or they share their values. This could be, as an example, a person who may be drawn to someone with a similar educational background from the same area, or someone who is the same colour or ethnicity as them as well. A manager who maybe wasn't successful at school may listen to or be supportive of an employee who left school without qualifications because subconsciously they're reminded of their younger self. The same can be true, again, of a manager who may be educated to a degree level, favouring employees who have been to university. That's actually known as affinity bias because they feel an affinity with the person as they have similar life experiences. So it's very important to be aware of unconscious bias. Another form of unconscious bias is known as the halo effect. The halo effect, again, comes up as a model within the recruitment industry and through the theory that you will be completing throughout. And this is where a positive trait is transferred onto a person without anything really being known about that person. For example, somebody who dresses conservatively are often seen as more capable in an office environment, which is not true at all, but they're basing an opinion purely on their attire. Behaviour reinforces the bias, and it's noticed in the behaviour, which is not ignored. Unconscious bias, just to make it clear, it's natural, it's unintended, but it can affect decisions, but it can be mitigated as well. So something to be aware of when you are working within your area and looking at how it can influence decisions in recruitment, promotion, staff development, and can lead to a less diverse workforce if it's not mitigated. Some employers can overlook talented workers and instead favour those who share their own characteristics or views. And unconscious bias is against a protected characteristic. How would we overcome unconscious bias? So we must be aware of unconscious bias. We mustn't rush decisions, or rather take your time and consider issues properly. Justify decisions by evidence and record the reasons for your decisions, for example, during a recruitment exercise. Try to work with a wider range of people and get to know them as individuals. This could include working with different teams or colleagues based in a different location. It's important to focus on the behaviour of people and not negative stereotypes. So unconscious bias appears quite a lot within the qualification. There's different sectors within the assignments that will be completed, which is very important to look at other people's behaviours and how you can actually preempt and adapt to those behaviours as well. Another area that I wanted to just talk about quickly is emotional intelligence and how improving emotional intelligence can support building relationships with your stakeholders. So colleagues within the business as well as externally to the business as well, and how you can actually go about improving your emotional intelligence as well. Self-awareness. So people with high emotional intelligence are usually very self-aware. They understand their emotions, and because of this, they don't let their feelings rule them. They're confident because they trust their intuition and don't let their emotions get out of control. As a recruitment consultant, you need to be able to manage those emotions and deal with the highs and the lows of the roller coaster of being a recruitment consultant, and being able to deal with those challenges on a daily basis where you get a placement, but the candidate actually doesn't turn up on the day of work, which makes all that hard work, effort, and the fee drop down the pan. So it's very important to have an understanding of self-awareness and also self-regulation to control your emotions and impulses, and be able to be thoughtful and think ahead and plan ahead in business. And again, this is all part of information that you will be given and provided with, and you may have been in situations before where you've got examples of challenging or conflict situations where maybe the outcome was not positive as you wanted it to, and that is where some of the models and theories that we're going to discuss more with the qualification will help you to manage that more effectively in the future. Social skills are also important, and it's easy to talk to people with good social skills, and it's another sign of high emotional intelligence. Those with strong emotional skills are typical team players as well. So you might find again that you have a group or a team of people that are fairly high emotional intelligence and all feed off each other with their enthusiasm and motivation they have as well. Emotional intelligence, though, can be improved, and as well as working on your skills, you can use various different strategies to help improve them. And again, we will be looking at some of those strategies at a later stage and how you react to different situations, which could be stressful situations, situations that aren't your fault within the business world, and how to keep your emotions under control when things go wrong. So all these types of things are very key within recruitment and other industries as well. But obviously, we are specifically talking today around the recruitment industry. It's important to take responsibility for your actions as well. So being accountable for your actions, learning from your actions, and not repeating them if they are negative. So all of those areas and the 5 parts on the screen that we can see there covers from your self-awareness through to managing yourself more effectively, having that motivation to keep upbeat and have empathy for others who are maybe not on the same level as yourself or not understanding where you're coming from, to be able to have that cohesion and work professionally as well as socially in the work environment. Really important, as you probably know, to understand your candidates and your clients and to understand your candidates' motivations as well, because that could be key to them accepting a role or not. So understanding their motivations from the start will really give you a good idea as to whether or not they will accept the role if and when it got to that stage of offer. Finally, a model which I quite like is called Think, Pair and Share. So it's all about sharing best practice. And again, a key positive in the recruitment industry of sharing best practice with your colleagues and being able to explore different areas to expand your knowledge and work more effectively and smarter. So you may have daily huddles or team meetings, catch-ups where you can review, plan and share ideas as a team. These are all crucial for the success of the business as a whole and for team positivity and collaboration. Best practice grows and needs to be nurtured. Every member of the team has a part to play in order to be more smartly and have better outcomes, along with the financial performance and benefits as well. The Think, Pair and Share is a collaborative learning strategy where learners work together to solve a problem. This is used in the learning environment but can be effective in the workplace too. You may buddy up with a colleague or a mentor who may be your go-to to share best practice and experiences. And as a result, learn and develop your skills further in order to work smarter and perform more effectively. Best practice has long been critical to continuous improvement in business, and it's identifying the best way of doing something, either in your industry or within part of the business, where it could be rolled out across the company to bring everyone to the highest level of performance. I think it's key, as I say, to have that best practice and to involve different sectors within the company, which again then links into the whole qualification apprenticeship, where there is a triangulation between your manager, the employer, myself as well. So it's all important, and there's lots of similarities, which link into the practice that we will cover and how you can then go about trying to apply that into the business as well. So as I said at the beginning, it was just a small snapshot again. So a little window around working smarter within the business of recruitment and understanding how you can maybe be more effective and what you can do to move and develop and push your brand into the ether a little bit more and get that traction coming through to help and assist you with your daily routine. Thank you very much for listening today. Anybody have any questions?